Look how good they look, all lined up and packed up.
¿Qué lo que mi gente? My name is Kevin and today we're talking bike packing bags and mounting options. Yeah. Oh, that didn't hurt. That was good.
It was fun for me. Take out some rage.
Throwing stuff at your husband. How to release anger. Bike packing is a perfect way to go and explore your surroundings or new areas. In my opinion, walking is way too slow and driving is too fast to get to enjoy everything, but biking, perfect. And in order for you to go on an adventure, you need to take your gear with you. Now, there's a bunch of cool bike packing gear, and I'm gonna go through different options of ways that you can take your gear, starting at the front of the bike and working our way to the back. But if you want to get started, it's always a possibility for you to just put some stuff in a backpack and go and try something really close one night. Don't let bags and gear stop you from going out and trying it. The main thing is get out there. All right, into the bags. We're gonna walk through a bunch of different ways that you can carry gear on your bike to go on an adventure. Now this is my wife's REI ADV 3.2 loaded up with a bunch of different bags, but we're gonna break it down bag by bag. Starting off at the front of your bike, there's several different options of things you can attach to your handlebars to carry some gear. This one right here is a bit of a rigid bag that can open from the top, has some good organization inside of it, and as you can see, can fit between some smaller handlebars, but you have some other options of things like this. This looks like a beast, but it's essentially a tube that gets loaded and unloaded from the side and attaches directly to your handlebars. So this is not as rigid, it's not as easy to access while riding, but can hold potentially more. And then a lot of things like this come with some sort of accessory options. So you can just rock this bag alone or attach a little bag up front that adds more space. There's also what I'm gonna call like the cradle technology type things where you attach some sort of cradle to your handlebars and then this can hold, right, via these straps, can hold whatever you put in it. In this case, it's a dry bag, but you can just put your tent here, you can put, I don't know, a big sleeping bag, a big water bottle, a big something, anything that can fit inside of this cradle, you just put in there, strap it up, and then you're good to go. One thing to consider before buying a handlebar bag is the space that you have between your bars if you have drop bars like this, which means the bars drop down as opposed to just straight out. Because you see this bag fits nice in here, but if you tried to take something like this, stuff it really big and then put it between your handlebars, it either may not fit, or if you squeeze it in there, some bikes require shifters that bend in and it could interfere with your ability to shift or brake. If your bike has some mounts on the fork like this one does that are bolts sticking out of it, then it opens up some more options for you, like this little mini pannier bag, or something like this, which is a cradle that you can attach to your fork, put something in it like a big water bottle, sleeping bag, clothes, dry bag, anything like that, and then strap it down to the front of your bike. Now, I would say be careful doing things like this on carbon forks or on suspension forks because it gets a little tricky, but if you got bolts, you're ready to go. Moving on back to the cockpit of the bike, you have two main bags here, a top tube bag and a snack bag. Both of these, you just want to make sure that they're easy to get to the contents inside. There's not a lot of real differences that I found between these, just number and location of these mesh pockets and how easy it is to get inside of them. Because a lot of times you'll be riding, chilling with your hands there, then you go and you want a snack, you don't want to stop, so you got to open it up, grab whatever you need, and then close it so everything doesn't fall out. Then when we go to the top tube bag, the main difference that I found here are features like waterproof or not, and then where and how you access the contents inside. So this one has a zipper that goes around the edge and it's waterproof. Then you look at something like this, the zipper goes down the middle. It's a much narrower profile, but it's not waterproof. Then you've got something like this, right down the middle, same profile as the last one, but it's a slider, so no zipper, it's just a slider up and down the middle. You've also got something like this where you can see your phone on the outside. It'll protect it from rain. And then you got a hook and loop opening to access everything inside. And last, you've got something like this where it's covered on the outside. Then it's a little magnetic open and close to access the contents. Flip it back and you're good to go. Moving on back. I'm feeling so singy today. Such a nice day. It's getting warm, spring, singy. Moving on back now to the frame. This whole middle section in your bike, depending on how much you need to store, there's different options. There's this, which is intended to be a partial frame bag, so only take up part of the frame. But My wife's bike is much smaller than mine, so it takes up almost all of her frame. But pretend it only took up part of it. Then there's things like this that take up the entire frame. You can carry more things in here, but then you can't carry some potential water bottles like I can on this bike. So this is actually the one that I use the most, is the top half of the frame. And then I still have access to 2 water bottles underneath this that I can easily pull in and out. But I've seen a lot of people who have struggles pulling the water bottles in and out depending what kind of bag they get. So think about how you want to carry your water, either in here in a reservoir or bladder, or on your water bottles, how many you want to carry. And then there's some more features like how they open. So you see this one here opens with this little magnetic clip that you can then reach into things and close. There's this that's just a regular zipper, and then there's this that is a waterproof zipper. Different features, different ways to open, different amount of space taken up in your frame, depending on what you want. Extra credit if you want some more space to store things when bike packing. There are these bags that are intended to go right here underneath your seat, above your frame bag, that can give you a little bit more space. And I think this may be filled actually from a trip. Yeah, see, I have some tools and like Luco tape and a lighter and stuff like that in here. There's stuff that's light, but things that if something goes wrong, you may not want to dig all the way to the bottom of your frame bag for. So you got the option here. And if you find the top 2 bag that you really like, you could potentially just reverse the top 2 bag and put it back here as well. The only watch out is you pedal over here. So if there's something that sticks out pretty wide, your legs may rub, which let me tell you, would not be fun on long trips. I've done it before. Don't, just be aware. Now getting to the butt of the conversation, finishing off at the end of the bike packing bags here usually attach to the seat. So they have some sort of little tendril thing like this that's gonna loop underneath your seat and then clip into another part of it. That's what holds it up. And then they usually have some sort of strap that's gonna attach it to your seat post. That's what keeps it sturdy. Good bike packing bags will then stay sturdy and not sway too much. Now this one here is a fully waterproof bag, but it's one entire system that has straps on it. You also have an option like this one that has a cage that attaches, this whole part here attaches to your bike. Then you can remove these little clips, take out the dry bag, and this stays on your bike. So this is the shell that stays on your bike. You insert and remove this dry bag. If you don't need that much more space, there's tiny bags like this that do the same thing. This attaches underneath your seat. If you're really good at packing and you don't need the extra space, you could just bring this for, I don't know, your wallet or something. If you want to get fancy with it, you want to get fancy with it, Tama? You want to get fancy? Huh, mommy? No. If you want to get fancy with it, you could go and put a rack on the end of your bike if you have the right mounts for it. Then once you do a rack, you open up some other options like installing a pannier to your bike to carry your gear. And you can put another one on the other side. Panniers are super common when bike touring. Now this is a tiny little like technical note. Bike packing usually refers to riding off-road distances and adventures on your bike, whereas bike touring does things that are usually paved. Now it's becoming more and more interchangeable, and a lot of people are just referring to bike packing for anything adventure by bike, which I'm cool with. The only thing to make note of is if you are doing off-road things, I've found some people with their racks have their entire bolts shear off. If this is full of weight, you're doing a lot of bumpy roads and rocks, it could actually shear the bolt off your bike, which means it'll make your rack unusable. Not something to be afraid of, I would say, but just something to keep in mind. Another option that I think is super cool. Wrong way. Is this bag. I think this bag is cool because you can access it from the top, store a bunch of things in there, but super hidden compartments. If you open up the sides, look at that, built-in panniers that you can go ahead and access just like the other panniers that we just installed. I think this is awesome. Look at this, cool idea, man, cool idea. And if you want panniers, you can have panniers and the top, or if you just want the top, stow it up and a little more aerodynamic. But racks open up other options. Just be careful when off-roading. Come here. Yeah, girl. What's your favorite bag? I wish I could take you bikepacking. Someday, huh? So as you can see, there's tons of options for you to get out there, but the main thing is that you get out there. Don't get hung up on trying to find the perfect system. You can go ahead, try bags from friends, try things out. Potentially go into an REI with your bike and you can try the bags on your bike so you can get a real feel as to how they're gonna fit, how much space you have, and whether your legs rub and things like that. If there's any bags that are your favorite, I'm really curious which ones. Let me know down below and tell me why. Or if there's any other bags that you would like to know more about, happy to help down below as well. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the REI channel, and hit the bell notifications so you can get notified whenever we put out new videos. You can also go check out my personal channel, Kev Does, if you want to see me doing more adventures using all these bags on bikepacking. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Nos vemos. Am I in the same spot? Yeah, in the same spot. Chiquita, come here. Chiquita, come here. Wait, this for you. Come here. Come here, mommy. Say bye. Say bye.